Do you remember Jacob? He's the guy who tricked his twin brother Esau out of their father's blessing. Then, afraid that Esau might do something crazy, Jacob ran away from home. But where did he go? And what happened next? Let's open up God's Word and find out in this exciting episode of Catechism for Kids. Hi everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Catechism for Kids. Today we're going to continue the amazing story of Jacob in the second part of Jacob Becomes Israel. When Jacob arrived at his uncle Laban's house in Paddan Aram, he agreed to work for 7 years to marry Rachel, the woman he loved. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife. My time is completed and I want to marry her." So Laban brought together all the people of the place and gave a feast. But when evening came, he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and Jacob made love to her. And Laban gave his servant Zilpah to his daughter as her attendant. When morning came, there was Leah. So Jacob said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? I served you for Rachel, didn't I? Why have you deceived me?" Laban replied, "It is not our custom here to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one. Finish this daughter's bridal week. Then we will give you the younger one also in return for another 7 years of work." And Jacob did so. He finished the week with Leah, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her attendant. Jacob made love to Rachel also, and his love for Rachel was greater than his love for Leah, and he worked for Laban another 7 years. Although it wasn't the wife he had hoped for, Jacob and Leah had 6 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. When Rachel saw that she was not bearing Jacob any children, she became jealous of her sister. So she said to Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die." Then she said, "Here is Bilhah, my servant. Sleep with her so that she can bear children for me, and I too can build a family through her." So she gave him her servant Bilhah as a wife. Jacob slept with her, and she became pregnant and bore him 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had stopped having children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. Then Leah said, "What good fortune!" So she named him Gad. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. Then Leah said, "How happy I am! The women will call me happy." So she named him Asher. And finally, Rachel had 2 sons, Joseph and Benjamin. So Jacob ended up with 12 sons. They became the leaders of the 12 tribes of Israel. But Jacob still longed for a closer relationship with God. Jacob heard that Laban's sons were saying, "Jacob has taken everything our father owned, and has gained all this wealth from what belonged to our father." And Jacob noticed that Laban's attitude toward him was not what it had been. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." Then Jacob put his children and his wives on camels, and he drove all his livestock ahead of him, along with all the goods he had accumulated in Paddan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. So Jacob fled with all he had, crossed the Euphrates River, and headed for the hill country of Gilead. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He instructed them, "This is what you are to say to my lord Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there till now. I have cattle and donkeys, sheep and goats, male and female servants. Now I am sending this message to my lord, that I may find favor in your eyes." When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Jacob sent word to Esau, asking for forgiveness. Jacob's only hope was to make peace with his brother. So he offered to buy Esau's forgiveness with gifts: 1,000 rams, 2,000 female goats, 1,000 male goats, 140 elephants, and 10,000 sheep. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon. Jacob had shown great faith and perseverance in his struggle, and God was pleased with him. So he gave him the blessing he asked for, and even gave him a new name, one that would become a powerful symbol of faith for generations to come. In the morning, they continued their journey, and Jacob looked up, and there was Esau coming with his 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. He put the female servants and their children in front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph in the rear. He himself went on ahead and bowed down to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. When Esau saw that Jacob had so many people and flocks, he was amazed. Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Jacob and his family were free to return to Canaan. There, under God's blessing, Jacob and his sons would become the leaders of God's people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Well, that brings to a close our story of Jacob becoming Israel. Hey kids, remember, God can use imperfect people like you and me to do something amazing. With prayer, faith, and time, God can heal families, keep His promises, and help us become the person He created us to be. We hope you enjoyed this exciting Bible adventure. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss any of our new episodes. Remember to ask your parents for permission before going online. And if you'd like to request a certain Bible story or send us a comment, you can do that on our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on another exciting episode of Catechism for Kids.